Hey guys, it's Jules. It's June 1st, early morning here in Colorado, and shaping up to be seems like it's going to be kind of a warm day. I went ahead and closed the windows and turned on the air conditioning. My husband doesn't like the air conditioning to be on because he likes the breeze coming through the windows, but he's not here today, honey. You're not here today, so I'm turning on the air just so that it stays nice and cool in the house, because it was already like 71 degrees as of like 8 o'clock this morning, and that usually bodes for a very warm day inside the house. So what's going on? I'm extremely excited because we're gonna go see Wonder Woman tonight, and I've been looking forward to that for a bit. I've never been a big Wonder Woman fan. I did not like the way they portrayed her with Linda Carter. You know, I just didn't like it, and women have never really had a female superhero that has had her own movie yet, so I am extremely excited for this tonight. I'm not a Batman fan. I kind of like Superman, but when she showed up in Batman versus Superman, I wasn't expecting a lot, and when she shows up and that theme music starts, and I was like, and for a while there, I just kept playing that music over and over again, so I'm super excited tonight to see the movie. So we're going to an early show tonight, just to, hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good. We'll find out. So life has gotten back to normal. As last time I talked to you guys, I had a 5-day weekend for Memorial Day weekend, and it was pretty relaxing. Ended up having some family come back into town a little unexpectedly, a little early, which in the end wasn't that big of a deal. We were just ended up being pretty busy in the first part of the 5-day weekend, getting a lot of things done. My husband was a maniac cleaning and organizing over that 5-day holiday, got a lot of landscaping done, and just a lot of projects done in general, while I at times simply hid away upstairs cross-stitching, because I told him, I said, my goal is I want to cross-stitch at least 3 hours every day, and I want to make sure that I'm, you know, dedicated to that and that I have some time, because I'm the kind of person that when I come home from work, or when I have a day off from work, like today, like it's Thursday and it's my normal day off from work, I tend to really just want to relax, not think about anything, and just kind of have time to myself and enjoy my hobbies. And so, I find it's very important. And when I go stretches of time where I don't get that time to myself, I get cranky. And my husband can kind of tell it when that happens, and then he's usually like, all right, go upstairs, take your stuff, and go stitch for a while. And it worked really, really well. I took one of my projects up my rainy Waterloo place, which I'll show you, and I got a lot done up there. And I just play my YouTube videos, and it's quiet. There's a couple doors between me and all the dogs, so I can't hear hardly anything that's going on downstairs. And it's been a revelation for me. Now, this week I've been more downstairs with the dogs, kind of getting back into a normal routine, but I've still been stitching quite a bit, so it's made me very happy. And I'll show you my progress a little bit later in the video. What else is going on? Thanks you guys thank you to you guys for all the comments, the nice comments about the fish story. It is just crazy. I still can't quite believe that it happened. He is still alive, and he has some little scars sort of, in different spots on his head area where I think a little bit of scales got taken off of him. But he's doing quite well. In fact, I got that, I think I told you guys I was going to get him his own aquarium, because I felt super guilty because I've almost killed him twice now, and I feel like, I think I owe him a nice little home. So I got him a 5-gallon aquarium. If you know anything about aquariums, it's a fluval aquarium, which what that basically means is that it's sort of an all-in-one package, and they give you sort of just about everything that you need within the package. But the tank itself is it's more narrow. It's not like a square or like a wide rectangle. It's a narrow rectangle, and so there's a lot of up and down. There's a lot of depth in the aquarium, and everything's there. So I caught him playing the other day, which was really funny. He's really enjoying the space to swim. Like I said before, people who think that bettas can do fine in a tiny little bowl, that's just not right. You know, you should give him some place to really swim. And he is just having a ball up there. He, what he'll do is on one end of the aquarium, there's a little air pump that, or for the filter basically, that blows the stream back into the aquarium for, you know, to create water, or sorry, to create air, oxygen for him. And I caught him several times this week where he floats up, like if this is the, where the pump comes out here, he'll kind of swim up, and then he'll come here, and then he just goes, woo! And then he'll swim and swim and swim, and he goes back up, and woo! He's just, I call it body surfing. And if I ever learned how to, you know, edit a video, I you know, would put that into one of the videos. But he's enjoying himself very much, and my husband and I are both very happy that he's happy. So that worked out pretty well. Let's see. Okay, one more thing. This is, another thing. This is kind of an interesting thing. I don't know if any of you guys have done genealogy, like Ancestry.com, or there's three or four different DNA sites that are out there that will help you. Excuse me. Will help you identify like where you come from, your heritage, so to speak. And I had done a test from Family Tree DNA about 2.5 years ago, because I was just super interested. I've been doing genealogy for a while, but I'd hit a roadblock with some different family lines and just couldn't get any further, and was just real curious as to where, you know, my family tree comes from. So as of 2.5 years ago, basically they had identified me as being 99.9% European, which basically means white, and it said that I had like a third British Isles, a third Scandinavian, and a third Northern Mediterranean, the like Spain and Italy. And so I thought that, you know, that's pretty interesting, and I really like that. And then when my uncle was in town, he was asking me about you know, about it. So I was like, well, let me pull it up for you. I haven't looked at it in quite a while, so I pulled it up. And they had redone everything. Like they apparently had redone sort of, granted also we have 2 years of who knows how many people that have added their DNA, and the more DNA they get, the better they can kind of identify things and narrow stuff down for you. And so my results had changed, and I'm still kind of absorbing this because it's just strange. It's they took away my Scandinavian heritage, and a lot of the DNA testing, a lot of it comes down to interpretation. Like when your ancestors migrate from, you know, from one continent to another, and from one area of that continent to another, like where do you decide that that's where you're from? I mean, where is it? I mean, where do you decide? I mean, I don't know, and I don't understand. But what's interesting about it now is that they say that I'm now 93% European, which most of that is British Isles, which that makes more sense to me because everything that I pretty much traced back in my genealogy was British Isles. So that made more sense. Some Eastern European, which I think Eastern European then migrated up to Scandinavia. So that may be why that switched a bit. And then I had some Spanish heritage, but I had 8% that was non-European. And this is what blew my mind. I had like 1% North Africa, okay, and then I had 2%, roughly 2% that was Middle Eastern, and specifically like Eastern Saudi Arabia, which that was fascinating. But the new news, which is my family's like, huh, is that I'm 5% Jewish, and that is fascinating to me. It's specifically Sephardic Jewish, and for those of you who don't know, and there can be a debate about this whether or not, but because the Jewish people basically just married among their own for centuries, they have very specific DNA, you know, segments that will pop up in your DNA if you are a descendant of theirs. And apparently they found that out about my DNA. And there are a lot of different types of Jewish tribes or Jewish sects that are around Europe and whatnot. and the Sephardic Jews that I've been put with, they were in Spain, so that's my Spanish heritage there, my northern Mediterranean heritage. And that might include some of the Middle Eastern stuff too, because there's a certain point in history some centuries ago where they were sort of expelled from Spain. They could either convert or they could leave. And so perhaps some of them stayed and converted, and perhaps some of them left. And when they did leave, a lot of them did go into the Middle East. But I thought that was fascinating. That was, I had no idea. So still going to try to research that and try to figure out exactly what happened there. But it's, I find all that very fascinating. Where do you come from? How did you become who you are, in the sense of like your DNA and whatnot. So, but last little bit of personal news, and I normally don't, I don't do publicly say anything about this, but tomorrow is my birthday, and believe it or not, I'm going to be 45. I personally can't quite believe it, but as my husband says, I'm halfway to 90, which actually I think that's pretty awesome. I feel like I'm halfway through my my career, and so I'm closer probably to retirement than not, which means more stitchy time. I keep thinking about it. I'm like, the further along I get, it's more stitchy time. So, but anyway, that's why we're going to Wonder Woman tonight. And if you think that a lot of people always say that I look far too young to be my age, but if you look at all the white hairs that I have, if you can see those at any point, that's our life experience right there. So, but anyway, but I'm not looking for anything. I just think that that's kind of funny, because I like the halfway to 90 kind of situation. So, but I love my 40s. The 40s have been awesome, and a lot of things when you turn 40, a lot of things settle down up here, and you just care a lot less about things, and so it's been awesome, and I hope it just kind of continues to happen. Okay, you have waited long enough. I'm going to finally start talking about cross stitching. So there were 3 projects that I worked on this week, and let's see here. I want to show you, I only did a little bit of Yoda. I was working on Yoda last night, and I discovered that I was missing a color that I kind of need, and I know I have it around here somewhere. I took it on the road trip that it was a small little road trip, but I took it on the road trip, and I only got a little bit further along on this, but every little bit you can kind of see a little bit more. And this is the do or do not, there is no try. I talked to you guys last time about the other Star Wars designs that are like the one up here, and then the Yoda one, and there's a Han Solo one. It just doesn't look as good, not even close. It says, gosh, I don't even remember what it says. It's really hard to read, and I'm not a big fan of it. I don't think it looks that good. There's a Chewbacca one that's just basically Chewbacca just standing there with his bowcaster, and on the words that it says, it's just like whatever, his little growl that he does, and it's cute. It's almost a little too cute, and so I'm not sure if I do that one or not, but I'm just hoping that whoever did that one and the Yoda one, because you can tell there's a difference in design between those two and like the Han Solo and the Chewbacca one. I'm hoping that the person who did the better quality ones will do more in the future, and then that'd be awesome, because I would love to do those. Got a little bit further in Apothecary Shop, believe it or not, my nemesis. Almost done with this whole first line. It's still rather disappointing to me that I can't get further, but you know what, I sat down, I had a whole night with it, and I came, and I did pretty well. So as long as I can make sure that I have all the colors, I should definitely be able to kind of get a little bit rolling on this one. This is I really love the look of it, and I just want to get it done. So at some point it'll kick in, and then I'll just be going full force on it. And then the last one that I worked on, this is the project that that I talked about, that I took upstairs. This one right now, I'm only doing there's only 5 colors that I'm working with right now. Sorry for the shaking of the camera. I hit it with the fabric. But let me show you where I'm at with this. Let's see. Well, sorry guys about the light. All right, so something like that. So you can see I got most of this page done, and what I have left to do is very straightforward, And then honestly, there's just part of a page. It's not a full page over here. And then this whole row will be done. So I'm actually focused on getting this part done as soon as I can, so I can start on the second row. Because I'm trying to think, all my whips, and all my whips are fairly new. I don't have anything that is far along. I mean, even Yoda is like maybe a third along. But you know, I just need to keep piling ahead and just sitting down and just focusing, because you know, I've reached that part where it's just it's a grind. And when I say grind, I love grinds. So it's a grind in the sense of you just gotta sit down and just do the work. And so it's all good. It's all good. My plans. So in a month we are going to be going to see my in-laws, my husband's parents, and all the family. It's going to be awesome. And I need to get a good marriage framed. And we're going to be taking that in soon. Well, actually, we got to take that in soon because they always take a while to get it done. So I got to do that soon. And I have a travel piece that I always like to work on while I'm gone. It's that, actually, it's another Ronnie Rowe. That's a Ronnie Rowe Designs. And so I have another Ronnie Rowe. Well, I have another Ronnie Rowe that's done that I haven't framed yet. But I have another one, the third in my home series. I call it my home series because it's, of all the things that she does, oh, there we go. Of all the things that she does, there were only like 3 of them that I liked well enough, that I thought were similar enough that I decided to do. And so I'm on the 3rd one. So this summer I'll be getting into that. I haven't shown you guys, I think I showed you guys that back in a very early video, but when I'm getting ready to go on that trip, I'll pull it out and start organizing that a little bit. So I'll show you kind of where I'm at with that. But it's so much easier to travel when you have or travel with cross stitch when you just don't have, you know, a lot to bring with you. And since I only have to bring, you know, the black 310, it works really well. So we'll see how much I can get done on that trip. You know, that's one of those pieces where I'll probably get that done before the end of the year. Because once I take we'll do a couple different trips, I'll make enough progress on it that I'll think, all right, let's get this done. And so, but yeah, I mean, pretty much just plowing ahead on what I'm doing. I haven't gone back to Old World Map 2 yet. I tried, but I just didn't have the will to kind of work on it. So, but today basically it's, I think it's like 9 o'clock right now, which is great. I'm going to upload this video and I'm going to continue to kind of work on some cleaning and then sit down and cross stitch periodically and kind of go from there, and I don't know, just enjoy my day and then enjoy the weekend. Hey, one last thing. Hopefully this will be a little bit of a fun attempt in editing, but I totally forgot to show you guys the t-shirt that I'm wearing today. So this one says, cross stitch is not just a hobby, it's an escape from reality. So, sorry I forgot it on the original video. And if you see this, that means that I was able to somehow edit, or at least just put it into the end of the video. So I'm going to work on that and see, because I just really don't want to record the whole thing all over again. So I'll see you guys later. Take care.